Hi, I'm Nick Paulson. You're watching News 24 Live. I'm joined in studio by our sports panel from Sports 24, editor Garen Lamley and chief writer Rob Howing to preview this weekend's sport. The Absa Premiership returns. We have a full round of Currie Cup fixtures and, of course, the big one, the Springboks versus the All Blacks. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Thanks for joining me. I think we'll save the Rugby Championship for the end. Let's start with the Absa Premiership. Obviously returning to our screens this weekend. We won't talk about Bafana. We've got George Durnley coming in later to unpack that. Rob, I'll start with you.
Yeah, they've had a little bit of a recess, of course, so it's going to be interesting to see how the players, those who've been on international duty and sort of the distractions, sometimes fitting back into the club scene, they might come back sort of rejuvenated. Hopefully those who played for Bafana, who haven't done too badly, as we know, in the last few days, will come back and slot in with their clubs quite easily. But it's also quite tricky playing, sort of 3 games in the space of a week with a league game at the end. So maybe some of the lesser teams will be thinking there's the chance of an upset. I'm thinking particularly, for instance, of a team like University of Pretoria. No great shakes this season so far, but playing Kaizer Chiefs, the incentive there to try to produce the upset, but it's Chiefs' home game. And I've gone for a sort of narrow Chiefs win on this one, and of course that takes Chiefs into a pretty commanding position. I think it'll give them the maximum 18 points from their first 6 matches if they can achieve that, which is certainly, that's pretty close to a runaway start. So a lot of interest in whether eventually Chiefs are going to experience a little stumble, but I don't see it happening this weekend.
I mean, I'd say so. The pick of the weekend's clashes would probably be Ajax playing at home to Free State Stars, and then you've obviously got Pirates and Wits.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, on paper, the Pirates-Wits game seems to be the match to not miss this weekend. Wits up in 3rd position, Pirates a little bit lower down. They're already, I think, 7 or 8 points behind their bitter rivals, Kaizer Chiefs. So they'll be hoping for the University of Pretoria to do them a favour and take some points off Chiefs, who have made a perfect 5 from 5 wins from the first 5 games. You know, they're really looking like title favourites at this early stage. Pirates, they won't want to fall any further back, so they'll hopefully up their game in the coming weeks. And also from a Cape Town point of view, Ajax Cape Town, the only other only other team not to have lost to date, along with Kaizer Chiefs. You know, from a Cape Town point of view, it'll be great if they can keep up their high-flying antics at the top of the table. But then obviously at the bottom of the table, you've also got a number of teams that were looking to improve their fortunes. You know, I'm thinking of teams like the defending champions Sundowns, mid-table at this stage. They can't afford to drop any further. They're going to have to pick up some 3-pointers in the coming weeks. So exciting times. It's been great action in the PSL to date. Lots of goals scored, which I think is fantastic. You know, in the past we've had a go at the PSL for the leading scorer finishing on like 10 goals, which compared to the other leagues is pretty minimal. So hopefully goals continue to flow in the PSL this weekend. So yeah, hats off to the PSL for putting on a good show to date.
Touching on Ajax Cape Town, they seem to be having a much better season. Roger de Saar, obviously there's a lot of this coach exchange and going on in the Absa Premiership. Do you think he may have sort of found his niche here? Is it too early to tell? I
think so. The spotlight not really on Cape Town in the PSL. Obviously, all the big teams based up country. He wasn't deemed good enough for Orlando Pirates, but he's headed down to the Cape and doing fantastic things. Hats off to him. Hopefully, it continues from his point of view. Talking about coaches, SuperSport United, the big team to have already dumped their coach, Kevin Johnson, deemed surplus to requirements up at SuperSport United. They're struggling 3rd from bottom, I think, in the log. They've got obviously Gordon Ingerson, the former Bafana coach, so I expect him to do good things for them. And then Gavin Hunt, obviously a little sneaky smile. The former SuperSport coach now in charge of Wits. They're flying high. When he looks down the log, sees where SuperSport are, he's probably quite grateful and happy to have made the move.